Hi! So here's another talk with Fangirls. I'm Dee.
I'm Jessica.
Sarah.
And we're going to talk about Game of Thrones Season 5. We're all caught up, and so here we go. That was an amazing season.
Yes, just wait 1 second. There will be spoilers, so if you don't want to watch this, if you're not caught up, I would suggest stopping this video now and waiting until you're caught up.
How did you guys find out about Game of Thrones fandom?
My husband suggested it to me because his brother or someone showed it, so we watched the first season in like a week, and we've been hooked ever since.
I had heard of the books, kind of didn't really know much about it, and then at Comic-Con I saw some trailers for it and really wanted to watch it, and then it was on HBO, and then I just never really got around to it until season 2, I think.
Yeah.
Then season 2 was over, and then we binge
watched it.
Yeah, the 2 seasons, and and I read almost all of the books. I haven't finished the last one that's out yet.
About 4 years ago, almost 5 years ago, I think, was Martin was on a panel at Comic-Con in a small room, and I was in that room. And actually what interested me about it was Yaya Han. She was dressed up as Khaleesi in this blue gown with her breasts hanging out and a pasty of a huge dragon and this long blonde hair. And so I wanted to find out what her character was. And then the following year, in the H Hall, I saw they talked about it, and that's when you and I decided we were going to watch it. We binged the first 2 seasons, and then we've been caught up ever since.
In a week.
I think it was less than a week.
It was 3 days. I think we had nothing to do, and we literally sat on the couch all day and just watched Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
The house
season
was
1
dark.
and 2.
We didn't even move.
We didn't get off the couch.
I want to rewatch the first season.
I don't even think we ate much. We just kind of were just hit play.
Yeah.
It was a good time. I watched it twice because I had to rewatch everything with Jack and get my husband all caught up to it because I was like, no, you need to watch this. So I've sat there and just watched it over and over again, twice all the way.
That's right, he did. Now we don't even watch it together.
I know.
We watch it on our own. Jessica, you've read the books. I haven't read the books. I didn't have any plans to read the books, but now with all the differences that are possibly going to happen because the next season, obviously there's no book ready, and Martin supposedly is not doing interviews and not going out much trying to finish it in time.
I actually read he's stepping down and going to start working on non-Game of Thrones projects.
Oh, really?
So it's all the writers now that's picking up their
also,
own
though, at the
puzzle.
same time, he's going to focus. He's stepping off the show and going to focus on finishing the book, but I've also seen him talking about starting non-Game of Thrones projects. He just needs to finish that book
I know that
first.
he was stepping down from a lot of stuff and so that he could finish and focus on the book, but that they know a lot of main details that is going to happen. They just don't know how it happens. So they might have to make up their own stuff, and things are really going to veer away. So I'm kind of contemplating reading the books because of that. And not that I thought that the show would be super close to the books, but I didn't feel the need to read it. But now I sort of want to. I want to see certain things that they haven't showed, especially in this season, things that you've sort of talked about as you read the books, and they haven't really showed anything of it in the shows, which are actually more interesting to me.
For me, because I watched the first 2 seasons before I started reading the books, and then I went back and read the books, and even though I knew not everything, but a lot that was going to happen already, to me, when they leave things out of the show and then you read it in the books, it's like hidden treasures. It kind of makes it easier to connect why things are happening and the character developments and relationships. So for anything, for me anyway, reading always help. It's easier to connect to characters in reading and I don't know, feel for them and stuff like that than it is in the show. So I really enjoyed reading it, even though I already knew the big things that were going to happen. So I would say you should read them. And they're different.
Because they don't always have all the information, but then I get let down when a movie or a show doesn't show certain parts that you really would like to see in real life.
That's why I'm kind
So-
of staying away from reading the books.
That's
I'm really
why.
enjoying the series.
Well, the thing is, though, is like the first like 4 seasons, they did pretty good. Like
that's what I heard.
staying to the books, like for the main things that are happening. Obviously, like little stuff that really is not that important is gonna get left out. But I think for anybody who's like a fan of reading and then a fan of shows, especially like Game of Thrones, you have to be able to appreciate them as separate things. Like as like there's 2 different mediums.
Mhm.
They're 2 different things. They're created by 2 different people essentially, and you have to just like be able to enjoy them as separate things. But
But
it
you've
is
got to let the
disappointing.
writers of the shows or the scripts have some creative ability as well.
It's
So
still
that's why-
disappointing, though.
It is disappointing. That's
But you
why I
have to get
wanted to
over it.
wait. That's why I wanted to wait to read the books. Plus, I knew he wasn't done with them. So I sort of, when I really like something that I'm reading, I just want to read the whole thing, and I hate waiting.
Yeah.
I hate getting caught up in series because then you're stuck waiting.
Just
I don't like to wait.
shows.
What are your likes and dislikes about the show so far? Or the story in general?
There's nothing really that I dislike. I mean, there's nothing that I dislike about it except for the fact that like certain things aren't happening in the book. But I said, I don't really care about that because I still enjoy
I
watching.
kind of go into it knowing that people are gonna die and don't get attached too much.
Yeah.
But you still do.
Yeah, that
you can't
was
help
a
it. You
big
can't help
shocker
it
for
attach-
me, right?
Who?
Just everybody
the first
dying, like
season-
main people that you really like.
The first season,
That
we were
was
like,
really-
all the adults are dead.
Yeah.
We were like freaking out. We were
We-
like, what?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we watch
we
it.
had
It's been
no
so long.
clue.
I wanted to like watch Khaleesi's story again because she was my favorite. So I'm so glad she's still alive.
Yeah,
For now. Who knows?
it was
Yeah.
just really interesting that he killed off all these we had all these adults, these main characters that you think are going to be like big people throughout the story, and he killed them all off. And then what is left are all these kids, and like half of them, they're lost or they're dead, or you don't even know what's happening to them. I mean, I could do without a lot of the, I'm okay with the war slaughters and stuff, but the torture stuff, it's kind of,
I thought you were gonna
Yeah.
say all the sex scenes. Like it doesn't bother
Well,
me. But
saying
Look at
sex
that,
that.
doesn't bother me,
saying
but the torture stuff,
yes,
I
yes.
that kind of stuff, it doesn't really bother me, but I think it's funny you say that because Ramsay's like one of my favorite. I don't know.
oh my
Not
god,
him-
I can't,
Not
okay.
him as a character, but him as an actor.
Yes.
I love him.
He's
in the Misfits. I love
Simon,
him. Like,
he's Simon.
and so
What's
then
his real name?
I don't even know.
He's Simon from the
But
Misfits. That's,
seeing him as
I love
Ramsay
him.
is like really funny to me,
ugh.
and I really like it. And I also really like Theon and Sansa and that whole story plot right now. So I like really enjoy that
That's
story. So because I'm just like waiting for Sansa. I've been waiting for her the whole time.
Yeah.
And I'm like enjoying
To get
that she's
some-
finally...
His torture section just killed me though. Like I didn't care for him.
Yeah,
but
his
I just had to look
torture-
away every time because it just got dragged on and on. I was like, okay, I get it. You hate him to
No,
where you wanted to chop him
like-
up into pieces, but
I loved Simon on the Misfits, okay? Ramsay played Simon in the Misfits. Such a great character, played so well, but in this show, like, he really killed him.
I didn't even know he was gonna play Ramsay, and then I saw him, and then I was like, oh my gosh, it's him.
He killed him. I don't know if I could watch Misfits again and feel the same way about him. He's just so good at his job. He's really good at his job. And I can't wait for him to die. Please tell me he dies.
I don't know.
I keep saying that too. Yeah, I really
They left that
hope
op-
he
they left that
dies.
open ended. They're just like,
I
jump,
want
and that's it.
Sansa to be the one to kill him too, and I want her.
I don't know.
I kinda
Theon
want
she
to
Theon
kind
torture
of gained
him.
his trust again.
I
in a way.
kind of rather have Theon kill.
I want
Ramsay.
Theon to like torture him, and then her to come up and just kill him.
Mhm.
That's what I'm hoping. Come on, Martin.
Theon kind of deserved what he got, though.
Yeah, I didn't really care for his character.
I never did.
Yeah, I still don't.
I think he's a good actor, though.
Yeah,
But I didn't care for his character.
no, I never felt
Yeah, his first
like
moment on
I
screen,
never
I was
felt
like,
like
this guy's
if
a
he
loser.
survives, I didn't care if he died or survived.
I'm gonna
So,
keep Sansa safe. That's all.
Yeah.
Ugh. Speaking of Sansa, I couldn't handle the wedding night, even though they didn't really show anything. I think it was
Okay,
one of the
Well,
worst.
I
I
saw
don't-
that coming because
it
of the
was really-
spoilers I read by accident.
Not
but-
even that, but okay. I mean, it's Game of Thrones, and that was like probably the most mild scene that they've ever had.
But it just
I didn't understand why everyone was so upset. Like, and it's Ramsay.
I think because
of course it's gonna happen. Like,
because she was the only one that pretty much wasn't touched. Like, she was protected, even though she could have, the little King Joffrey could have done so much stuff to her. And he tortured her mentally, but he didn't physically torture her. And then here she is with Ramsay, and, he is playing this part, but when he gets there, he just lets go. Which, it totally makes sense, but it was hard to watch.
He had to consummate the marriage anyway, so that would happen regardless. He kept doing it, but it would happen. No matter where you were.
I know, but it was just harder to take, I guess, because she was the only one that wasn't touched, and you were hoping she would make it through, and she didn't.
But it's Game of Thrones.
I know.
He'll get his.
I know. But he's not going to... I don't know. I hope he dies.
Do you think Brienne really killed, what's his face?
I don't know, because it looked like she was getting attacked at the end, too, so I'm just like...
I kind of
like
her. Part of me believes, like, she could she would go through with, like, decapitating him and killing him right then and there. But then part of me also believes she has a heart. She has a heart, and she would, like, hit the tree or done something and, like, been like,
maybe the fire will bring him back.
The mother has mercy on you.
If she waited 5 seconds longer, she would have saw Sansa and rescued her. It was like, just turn around for a second.
I'm interested to see if Stannis is actually dead. And I haven't finished the book, so I don't know what happens in the book, so I don't know if he's gonna die.
Okay. And speaking of not knowing who's dead or not, Jon Snow.
He's not dead.
I don't think he's dead.
That's what I heard.
Well, okay.
If he is,
he's dead,
the Red Lady will bring him back or something like that.
Yes.
That's what I've heard.
I believe
the
he's
fire
dead.
might bring him back. I think the Fire Lord will bring him back because she's there.
That's what we're saying.
The Red Lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe
she has nothing right now, so that would help him coming back. That would help her in a way.
Plus, if you believe the whole theory, technically has King's blood.
Yeah. So she needs him.
The theory. Go ahead, talk about the theory. Some people might not know
that he's Targaryen, half Targaryen,
by his mother.
Well, his mother is Ned's sister. And then she had a thing with the Targaryen king before King Robert Baratheon went and destroyed
We know
them.
for sure he's Ned's nephew.
No, that's the theory though, because if you think about it, Ned is such an honorable man. Why, like, he would never do that to Caitlyn, and he would always be hush hush about who the mother is and that night that happened and all that kind of stuff. And then all of a sudden he shows up and takes care of him, and he loved his sister. And it makes sense, because the Targaryens rule in threes, and we all know that's going to be Dany, Jon, and Tyrion. Gosh.
I love Tyrion. He's one of my favorites, too.
And there's also a theory that Tyrion is also part Targaryen, because the Targaryen king had a thing for the Lannister mom. So, we got 3 Targaryens. That's what I'm rooting for.
Well, we know he's not going to die.
Tyrion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lauren said he won't die.
Yeah, but
it's his favorite.
His word is like
I like
nothing.
Him too. He's a great actor.
Yeah, I love Kate Winslet.
I really wanted to see the brothers.
Bran, Rickon has been gone for a long time, and then Bran, because I talked to my friend who's like really read the books like religiously, and she said that they changed a lot with that story, and I had told her, because I had mentioned to her that I was really excited to see where that was going, because to me that was like kind of going to get you into like the magic aspect of the world, and like the children of the forest and things like that. And she said that it's actually not as exciting in the books as they make it seem in the show.
That's what they left him, right? He was like finally found that 3-eyed bird, and then
well he gets
for a whole year.
He gets introduced to the children of the forest, and you find out that is where, like, they're alive, with the Godswood and everything.
So he's safe at least, but
so what do you think that means? That he's safe? He's just hidden there, and maybe he'll show up
much
later?
I think there's gonna be like a war with the White Walkers and the children.
Do you think he'll give him his like crippleness away, like make him walk again?
No. He told him.
Ah, it's a bummer.
I don't think so. Maybe, I don't know.
That'd be easier to film that way.
I think I'm excited about the White Walkers, because now we actually get to see like the not, I guess, like the leader people.
That was a crazy episode with all
That
of them.
was incredibly awesome.
I called it.
Well, so did I. Like, I was like, they need to get out of there. I was like, they seriously need to get out of there. Once the mom let the kids go, I was like, she's gonna die.
I was actually kind of glad, like, I was rooting for the giant to, like, make it out alive. And
Yeah,
I was,
me
like,
too.
happy that
I
he
was like,
did.
yeah, the giant. It's like, they need him.
Yeah. That was an intense episode, but I'm excited to see where that goes.
Yeah. I heard it wasn't as intense in the book, though. That scene is what I've been told.
I
but-
think it. Well, I could see how,
But it's
like,
better
I can see,
visually.
Yeah, visually it
I
was
can
amazing.
see like how it wouldn't be as
It's like
intense.
worse than Walking Dead in that part.
Yeah, I can see why it wouldn't be as intense in the book because you're just kind of watching it in John's perspective because he's the character, and you see him fight that one guy.
And then when he used his sword, he had no choice, and it killed him. I was like, yes.
And to think like, oh, you're like, oh yeah, 50,000 people. You can't really like visualize it as well as you can like in the show, and then he's all like, oh, and like they like stand up.
Well, think about Lord of the Rings when he had 10,000 strong, and that was a lot. Like 5 times that many. It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I'm excited for that.
Open-ended.
Plus Arya, I love Arya's storyline too.
Yeah, just
she's
her
one
being
of my favorites.
supposedly blind temporarily.
I read
It was
it-
kind of boring for a while for me, actually.
Well, I think because for me in the books it was really interesting for me while I was reading her like getting to the House of White and Black or whatever.
Yeah.
And like going through all of that.
And then she didn't listen. She took her own vengeance out instead of following what he
Which
instructed.
I read a spoiler that she goes blind to be like it's just part of her training.
Yeah, that's what I figured it was, because he's just teaching her a lesson for not, obeying the many-faced God or whatever.
Yeah, which part of me like wants her to get like super cool powers or whatever and
That
be able
would be
to
awesome.
do that, but part of me also wants her to still be Arya Stark and like go and claim her house and like seek revenge that she wants and stuff like that. So
No, I was glad that
I think
she
she
killed that guy,
will.
though.
I think she will at the very end.
yeah,
She'll claim her own face. She'll probably be a bunch of different faces, and we'll see a lot of her. And she'll be around all that.
I
stuff
just wanted to
that's
be
happening.
reunited with her sister for at least once, just to her.
well,
she knows
I've
alive.
always thought it was really funny that they all think they're the only living
They're the
Stark,
only ones
Yeah.
left.
and like actually
There's a
Rob's
lot of-
the only dead one.
Yeah, well, and the mom.
Well, well, see in the book she gets brought back to life.
Oh, that's what I heard too. So, but I don't think so.
But
the way
they're
that
not planning on doing it.
Yeah,
in
the way
show.
they let her, they just like ended
like
it.
the red woman, or not the red woman, but like her religion, like that guy who I can't remember his name.
The one that kept dying and coming back to life.
Yeah,
In
that
the
was
cave.
with Arya for a while.
Yeah.
He brings her mom back to life. So
Oh, it was him who does it?
I think like his little group that brought her back to life right after the red wedding happened. So she's like alive, but nobody knows it.
Cersei's imprisonment.
I was okay. That point right there is like about as far as I've gotten in the book.
Oh, really?
Like just a little bit past that. So I knew it was going to happen, and this whole season I have been waiting for it just because I wanted to see it play out.
Yeah.
I wanted to see if it was they're going to like keep like make her get in prison and everything. So I was really
I was
excited.
happy at first, but then when they actually supposedly freed her and did all that stuff, I felt really bad for her.
I did.
You did? I don't
Yeah.
feel bad for her.
Well, just
That's
that
what she
whole-
gets.
Walk of shame and all that.
That's
It's
what
just
she
like-
gets.
Me and Jack for like
Oh.
3
She
days
has
after that
been-
would keep going ding shame like for everything.
I read a tweet. Someone was like, "Where could I hire that shame lady to shame everybody I hate?" Just walk behind.
And I was like, and Jack was like, "Did they really do this?" I was like, "Well, yeah. Where do
It
you
was
think the
actually-
walk of shame came from?"
Yeah.
Ding.
It was actually
shame.
Shaved
It
her
wasn't
head
actually her.
and-
She was her head, but it was actually a model's body. And they
Yeah,
actually
I
had.
know.
Oh, really?
She wanted to just focus on.
There was
the
actually 2,000 people that
emotional part.
applied for that job to do that, which is crazy.
She-
to walk down.
Yeah, she wanted to just focus on like the emotional part of it, and so she didn't want to have to worry about like how her body's moving.
Mm-hmm.
And so they had like a model. Plus, she probably just didn't want to be naked.
I wouldn't want to do
You
that.
have to be comfortable with yourself to walk that far, like all that stuff being poured in you, just all the way naked. Just like wow, that takes a
Both of them
strong
said
person.
like when they started it, like they didn't have a problem with like being naked or anything, like the model who did it,
Mhm.
but that like by the end of it, even the model was saying that like when stuff started getting thrown on her and stuff, she like because they were both trying to like tap into the character,
Right.
that they really like kind of felt like how it would feel.
That it was shameful to be standing there.
Yeah, and so like it was kind of cool reading that, like just behind the scenes making of it. But I thought it was done like visually really well.
yeah.
Mhm.
No,
It was really moving, actually, emotionally.
Yeah.
And
very long. Scene
watching
too.
her go through that
It took them 3 days to film it
Wow.
because they really walked.
I liked the guy when she got there, and that guy, like, that really big buff guy took her and was like...
Who is he again? I
I
can't
don't-
remember.
The mountain.
Oh, it is the mountain. That's what I
He
thought.
Frankensteined him.
Okay,
Oh,
that's what
I
I
wasn't
thought.
sure either. I just like, well, he's a monster now, but whoever he is, but he's amazing. He's going to protect her. And
No.
hopefully, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but that was the mountain. He Frankensteined him back to life.
Yeah, I know he did. I couldn't remember who it was.
But supposedly he's a protector. Who knows?
Well, yeah. Cersei's evil though. Just because you're an
I
evil
know.
protector.
Just for the moment, I feel sorry for her, but I'm sure it'll change when she gets back into her prettiness and
I
stuff.
know. She
Probably wear a wig or
She
something.
brought that on
She
herself by
brought-
I
giving
know
them
she
power.
did. I know she did.
She's done so much stuff.
Plus, let me
And
just
now,
tell
what is
you,
she gonna do when she finds out her daughter is
The
dead?
psychic told her when she was a little girl everything that was
Yes.
going to happen, and she continued to still strive for power.
Yeah.
She told her, "Don't strive for power."
How do you
But
feel?
she knew she was gonna get power through that psychic, and she wanted it no matter
Yeah.
what the cost.
What about her daughter? How do you guys feel about that?
I was kind of sad that she died.
Yeah.
Only because
I called it
because it
though.
was
As soon
gonna
as that
be-
girl like went up to her and kissed her, I
Oh,
knew
I
it was
knew
like,
it, me
oh
too.
man.
I told Jack, I was like, "There's poison in the lipstick."
Yeah, I knew it. I was like, she hates her. Why would she do that? She
Well,
wouldn't.
yeah, she wouldn't just do that.
Yeah.
But the only part that I was sad about though is because I really, really liked Jamie and
Yeah.
as a character, and I was happy that like she was like, "Oh, I know you're my dad, and like
I still love you," yeah.
And then she dies in his arms.
That was like, I don't know, she was so pretty too.
It
It
was
was like,
Jamie
she got
needs a
very short
freaking break. Like he needs some
yeah.
brand.
All right, so Khaleesi and Dragon.
My favorite.
That was such a good episode.
Why did she walk away from her freaking dragon at the end? That was
She
like,
was hungry,
I know, but she just waited
and
a
she
little
knew
bit
he
longer.
was just gonna stay
She
there.
waited like 10 more minutes. She probably would have been okay. They probably would have just passed her. She'd be fine.
No, they saw the dragon.
Oh, did they?
I'm assuming
They
that's
had to
how
have.
they
He would have
knew what
protected
she
her. I
was.
assume if he was getting attacked, he'd probably defend himself.
Well, yeah, but
He's
you're
also
talking
he
like-
also has all those wounds, and he's gotta
He is healing.
he's gotta heal. He's gotta sit there for a while
Too
and
bad she
rest.
doesn't have any healing power.
And what is
just
she
to-
gonna do? Like she will starve to death if she sat there and waited for him.
Yeah.
So that's why
She just
walked
landed there,
off.
so I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Both just rest for a little bit.
So what does that mean for her? Because she's not
She's not.
their queen anymore.
She wasn't any. Okay, what are the Dothraki?
Mm-hmm.
They're like clans. So like there wasn't one Cal and one Khaleesi. It was a clan. And so this guy, Cal something with a J, I don't remember what it is. It's like JOHQ or something, I don't know. But he was the guy that defected from Khal Drogo's and
Okay.
hates her
Oh.
because she changed the whole.
Yeah, the way that they were doing things.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
think
I wasn't
that's
sure who
it
it
is.
was because I
I'm-
wonder if she's
I'm
in
pretty
immediate
sure-
danger or were they going to be good guys. They didn't explain
I'm
that.
pretty sure that's who it was, and that's even worse for her because he hated her. Plus, in the culture of the Dothraki, once the call dies, the Khaleesi's supposed to go to that city and like live there as somebody who's like kind of like a nun type thing, and, right? Remember? And so she decided to try to lead her own little clan instead. So she kind of like disgraced their traditions and all this kind of stuff. So
He
they
pulled all those women
they
away.
hate her. They hate her.
She
So
pulled
it's-
away a lot of the women.
Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, she's gonna get beaten.
Yeah.
It'll be a good season next time.
Yeah, it is.
We have to wait 8 months.
I know.
Definitely excited for the next season. So yeah, maybe I'll start reading it now.
Do it. I need to finish.
Do it.
Just do it.
Well, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.